Hey guys, it's MikeGoG with another King Arthur Legends Rise video. We've got our update coming in tomorrow. It should be our 1-year anniversary update. So I wanted to go over the account and kind of what they've teased in the past and maybe some hopeful ideas of what could come into the game tomorrow after reset. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So the first thing I'd like to discuss is the new content. I'm hoping they've been sandbagging some new content for the 1-year anniversary event. They have done kind of special events for, I think it was 100 days and then half a year. And then now we're coming up on 1 year, and they do have currently listed in the events. They have the 1-year prep anniversary event, which they've run before, doing the prep event prior to actually doing the launch, so that kind of tells you something's coming. But as far as that goes, it has been a minute since we've gotten any new content in the game. I believe the last thing we got was Dimensional Rift, or you could probably argue, I guess, moving on to stage 12 with the equipment dungeons was new content, sort of. So, you know, I mean, those are some potentials there. I think by moving up to stage 12 in the power-up dungeons could be kind of a big win, just being more efficient with your stamina to reward ratio. And that way you don't have to run quite as many battles, but you're getting more rewards or bigger rewards. Specifically Gorgos with experience, I think, is kind of lacking right now since they've done the breakthrough upgrades where you can take your champions level 70. The experience you get from Gorgos just feels a little weak. It just takes a lot of farming to go very short distances. But that being said, Dimensional Rift, I'd say, was the last real additional content we got in the game. I think it was, for me, it was a little bit of a miss. I kind of hear mixed feelings about it. I do like that when you tie this team up, you have to use 4 different characters. That is a cool aspect of it, but outside of that, it kind of just feels like regurgitated content. It doesn't really provide a whole lot of extra challenge or anything in that space. I kind of feel like it really is another version of Forbidden Dungeon, and when you get to a tough matchup or a tough room, you kind of, I don't know, I'm kind of fatigued on trying to figure out ways of getting through it. I just go back and defeat a lesser room and move on. But that's just me. I haven't really enjoyed this game mode personally. Hall of Conquerors, I actually had a lot of fun with Hall of Conquerors. I still kind of do, but before they had the rewards for the top 50, you would get this fragment of a weapon, and now they moved that to the top 300. So it doesn't take a lot of energy or effort to get in the top 300, at least from where I stand. If I'm kind of speaking out in-game, you know, stuff, then I apologize. But as far as if you attack all 3 bosses, you're probably going to end up in the top 300, I would think, just because there's not a lot of people playing the game. So it's not too hard to get up there. So, but to push into that top 50, the only benefit here is 40 crystals. It's just not worth it. I think, honestly, if they did, you know, rate up summons or 2 copies and kind of step these up a little bit, I think all those things could make it a little more engaging as far as why I would take time to push into the top 50. But for 40 crystals, you know, I don't really have the time to do it. So it's just kind of one of those things that I don't need to make it a priority. Forbidden Dungeon, they did extend the hard mode onto level 60. I have not actually completed that, but again, it kind of falls in that same spot where it's like you get on a tough matchup and you just kind of just start simming the stuff before it. So I haven't really found that content super engaging either. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. I go through moments where I'm like, oh, I'm really going to push on, and then I have fun with it. But for the most part, on a day-to-day basis, I don't really have the extra time to put into it to go through it. What I would like to see come into the game is new content. I would like to see something along they talked briefly a long time ago about an additional story mode or another chapter or set of chapters in adventure mode, or potentially moving from hell to I don't know, mythical mode or something along those lines, where you could actually farm 6-star gear, because in here everything you get is 4-star. It doesn't make any sense to farm this unless some of these other things that you're going for. But you know, getting into this mode and getting into some 6-star gear, potentially being able to farm Ascension gear or Vigor set or something along those lines could be a big win as well. But that additional mode altogether as a completely separate story mode could be kind of fun. I'm not real sure. They kind of teased it way back when, and haven't really heard a lot about it since then. So maybe that's a trick up their sleeve. I would also like to see some quality of life stuff for some of the repetitive things we do in the game, such as Sealed Temple, such as Favored Dungeon, and some of the other things that we do every single day. If we went in here and after you defeated this level under a certain speed or a certain number of times on auto, then you could just sim it. That'd be, I mean, going through these battles doesn't make any sense to me. I've defeated them all. They're not a challenge. Some of them take, like in the Crow's team is just ridiculous. I was actually talking to somebody in the comments below, and I had my team out there, and I was like, oh, there's got to be a better team than this. And I go and I click on here, and it's like, no, there's really not a better team. I mean, I could swap Ralph for Bajorn or put in Nicholas or whatever, but I mean, there should be a team I could do some faster farms than what I got going on now. I don't know why we spent so much time on Serpents and some of the other favors. I think growing the Crow's favor would be a great place to start. I think that kind of leans into the next thing, is getting a new champion. Ideally more than one. It'd be really cool for the 1 year anniversary if we have multiple champions, maybe some rare champions, maybe some commons or uncommons, with some like basic utilities, stuff that would help you kind of early game when you're starting out, maybe has a place to help speed runs. Like I noticed some people were using specific uncommon champions in areas of the game to get extra attack ups if they die and stuff along those lines, just to make your other champions do more damage. But stuff like that where you had specific things or attributes that they had that were very specific in what they did but could actually be beneficial to an in-game account, I think would be super fun. Also, just growing the champion pool would be really fun, not to have every character in the game every time it comes out. So that would be a pretty good, I think, a pretty good benefit. At this point in the game, if we can at least get one champion, I'm going to be okay with it. I'll be like, hey, at least we're moving forward. We're doing a thing. But, you know, it would be kind of nice to see something special for that 1 year anniversary. I think it would be also kind of fun to see different kind of events coming through. Like they had, like when they release a character, they have the character dungeon event, but some kind of special event dungeon or some kind of special boss or something going on that's in an event status where you can get some cool rewards and kind of just shake this up a little bit, because I feel like we've been getting so much of the same stuff for so long that it just feels redundant. It doesn't feel like when these new events pop in, like I really even care what's going on. So I use popular relic summons. I'm not really summoning that, although I have been giving a lot of thought to farming and getting Herja's flame relic. This video actually is going to come out after that video if I decide to do it, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it. But you know, those kind of things, it's just not an exciting. It's not an exciting event. Rate up relic summon here. You just go spin crystals and get stuff. You're like, okay, you know. I thought the Halloween event was kind of cool. I appreciated the event shop where they had some special things going on in there. That is actually over now, but it was, I think, a pretty cool way to kind of get some extra stuff going on. But I'd like to see something fresh and different in this space, where it kind of, you know, pushes you into other areas of the game. Maybe try to build some speed farming teams, or I don't know, just something that kind of just puts an extra challenge to stuff that we're doing already. The other thing I would personally like to see as far as a quality of life upgrade would be some sort of way of expediting this process for your daily missions. Like if you wanted to get in and out of here in, you know, 5 or 10 minutes, just to get your daily missions done, I feel like that would be kind of a cool thing to do. So like in here, you could say, hey, you want to go play story mode. You could tell it what level you want to play, you know, and it just does, you could just go sim, and then it would sim that level for you, as far as, and assuming you beat it and all that stuff, you know, stuff along those lines. I would just expedite some of this process. The equipment dungeon, again, you could say, hey, you know what, just go do Wisclag stage 12 or stage 10 or whatever it is you're farming, and you could just go sim, boom. As long as you have the stamina up there, you could just sim. You're out of the game, you're back hanging out with your family, you're back on vacation, you're doing whatever you need to do, and then when you have time to play, you can come back in here and play the game. game, but in the interim you could kind of assign these tasks out so you could just sim them instead of having to go through and spend. It took me 25 minutes when I went through it the other day, and I was basically non-stop, guns blazing, just went through everything for those daily missions, and 25 minutes in game. To be fair, that's not you know, obscene. In other games you can spend well over an hour, 90 minutes, even 2 hours doing all the daily tasks, which is actually absolutely crazy to me. But you know, this game, it has a much better you know, like game life balance. But it would be kind of fun to see some of those things start to work themselves out, specifically as we add new things to the game. We want to make sure that we have time to play them. We don't want to be sitting here like, oh, I got 25 minutes to play this game and all I get to do is go through my dailies, so I don't get to engage with the new content. It'd be kind of fun if you could sim through a lot of the older content after you've, you know, hit some milestone, and then from there you can go on and focus on the stuff that's new. I think that'd be kind of fun in that space. Another big quality of life piece I would like to see in the game is they added this third thing you can unlock with crystals. I find these completely useless. And the reason for that is, what if I wanted to build Arthur in a vigor set with damage, and I wanted to just swap these 4 pieces out with vigor? I should have the option on this to use the same pieces I have on this, on his first one, and make it work. And go into his artifacts. Like, as far as his artifacts go, I have to come up with 3 completely different artifacts. I may not have a different set of artifacts that I even want to use. So being able to use the same equipment on the champion for all 3, or maybe I want to build him in a damage and a speed set, or whatever, you know, whatever I want to do. But being able to use the same gear that's already on him, I think would be a huge win. Perfect example of that is my Morgan. You want to build her fast and with accuracy. So I have her here in a vigor set, and her speed is, I got it all the way up to 346. I was pretty proud of that. Got it up to 346. We're at 103 on the effect accuracy. But I was working on a second build for her with a speed set to see if I could do better. But I can't use the same accuracy pieces, and I can't use the same keepsakes. So it's like, oh, I got to put together a completely new gear set for all this stuff. Or swap it back and forth and spend the money every time. Like, it's just, I don't know, this entire thing could be kind of cool, but instead it's just super clunky, and I don't use it at all. This is actually the first time I've actually tried to use it, and it was just like, it just doesn't make any sense. So I think doing something in this space could be a big win as well. The other scenario would be, maybe I want to keep all these guys here, but for whatever reason I want to put her in a focus set. So maybe I want to keep the entire gear set the same, but I just want the keepsakes to be different. That would be another way of just letting us extend out the usefulness of each of these characters. But all in all, I gotta say, at the 1-year anniversary, all I'm hoping for is some new stuff, new champion, new content, new dungeon, new boss, new something. Just get us kind of riled up again, get some excitement behind. I was talking to a couple folks in the comment section regarding the new player experience, and with all of the subtle add-ons they've done throughout this year, the new player experience right now is actually, I think, pretty strong. But you get to end game really fast, and that's what we've talked about so many times. And the bottom line is, if there's not enough content to keep you engaged in the game for a long period of time, with that content growing at a rate that's hard to catch up to, it's easy to kind of get to the finish line and then kind of wonder what you're doing in the game every day. You know, and so that's kind of one of those things where it's like, I just feel like they just need to press this along a little bit faster, a little bit more. But that's about what I got for you today. It's going to be a short one. I'm just sitting here with all my hopes and expectations. I am actually on vacation this week. I'll be out of town. So when the update comes in, I won't be able to put a video out until the following week. But I'll be up at my parents' cabin up at the lake, and enjoying some Thanksgiving turkey and everything else. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we got something great to get in the game and talk about when I get back. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday weekend, and I look forward to seeing you next time.